Let's take a look at how do we find the derivative of square root of x. So the function would look like this. Function f of x would be square root of x. Now I'm going to on the side, I'm going to do an example. Let's say we only have x to the power of 2 of 16. In order to find x, this is what we need to do. We usually take square root on both sides. Okay? And when we take square root on both sides, x will then be square root of 16 is 4. Now what's happening here is essentially we started off with powers of 2 for x, and eventually we somehow simplify down to powers of 1. So in order to do that, we have to do this. We essentially is taking x to the powers of 2 and we're multiplying by 1/2 to get x to the powers of 1. So this 1/2 is coming from the square root. So square root of x is same thing as x to the power of 1/2. So this same thing as x to the powers of 1/2. So we have to write this as a function powers of x. So we have to write it as x to the powers of 1/2. Now we find the derivative of this by using the power rule. So derivative f prime of x will be, first thing we do, we multiply it by the power 1/2, and then x raised to the powers of 1/2 minus 1. Okay, so we have f prime of x is 1/2, x to the powers of 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. A half minus 1 is negative 1/2. Now we rewrite f prime of x as 1 over 2 1/2, and then this term we rewrite it as 1 over x to the powers of positive 1/2. Notice how the negative 1/2 is changed to positive 1/2. This is the reciprocal. So the last step would be f prime of x would then be we multiply the numerator times it by numerator, denominator times it by denominator. So you have 1 times it by 1, which is 1, over 2 times it by x to the powers of 1/2. We can also write this as 1 over 2, and we know that square root x to the powers of 1/2 is same thing as square root of x. X to the powers of 1/2 is same thing as square root of x. So we'll say 2 times it by square root of x. So either this, or this, they're both, all of them are correct form of the derivative of square root of x.